brought to you by Promise Resource Network. Let's see. I got a good crew in here today. Woo woo! Yeah, that's right. Back in the old day, I'd go woo woo, and we would all go woo woo. You remember woo woo?
That's your mating call.
That's
That's
how I call you to class.
You know.
Shh. Oh, okay. You can't turn yours off though, can you? Okay, you're good. So anyway, welcome. I don't know. I'm just going on and on, but welcome. Promise Resource Network is an awesome place. It is located at 1401 7th Street, East 7th Street. We're right beside a daycare between Hawthorne and Central Piedmont. So come and see us sometime. It's a great time over here. There's acceptance, love, and respect. That's what you're guaranteed when you come here. All right. Topic for today is loneliness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we all can probably relate to that one. Let me read the definition.
Oh, no. It's a picture of me.
Sad because one has no friend or company without companions. Oh, man, that sucks.
I'm right here. You can wait till
This struck me. I've got some things about loneliness. It says almost 10% of young people say they are often lonely. Almost 70% of young people say they felt some or all of the time during the pandemic. The pandemic caused a lot of loneliness, didn't it? That COVID shut us down and separated us. We could talk sometimes by computer, by phone, but it's not the same as touching someone, being in communion with someone. And COVID really messed up a lot of us because of the isolation, which turned into loneliness. Yes,
for
Gordon.
me, it's nothing worse for me than being lonely in your room full of people. Like I still feel like I'm not seen or heard. Even my family, when I get around my family, I feel like I'm alone because I feel like I'm the only one that kind of understands it. We can have these honest conversations, and everybody's like I'm like, no, we just got to go do something traumatic. Why am I the only one? Like, hello, why are we not talking about after a funeral? I'm like, why are we laughing and joking? Like, how about we just talk about something serious about? Like, I don't think we fear that place of going to being vulnerable, and then when you go there, you feel like you're alone. Like, I don't mind being vulnerable, because I know I have a place. I know I can handle being vulnerable because I know there's a strength in being vulnerable because at least I'm able to understand what I'm going through when I actually go into those feelings that don't feel comfortable, like loneliness, and talk about. If I sat down with my family right now and talked about loneliness, it probably wouldn't be a conversation that would go well.
Yeah.
I have to know where to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to always translate.
Who can hear me?
Yeah.
Who can hear
me? They don't
me?
even speak English. I speak Ebonics.
My PO told me this morning, she's a female, stay away from the men, because I struggle.
Yeah.
You told me the other day when my ex brought me back. Well, I ain't talked since then because I don't listen.
Yeah.
There's love, but I'm not in love.
Yeah.
Am I lonely? Not really.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not lonely. I just want somebody there for the moment.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I get tired of them.
You gotta get out now.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Because it doesn't work on the loneliness really, does it? I can still be with somebody and feel totally alone. Right? And that is, I don't know, that's the hard part. To be without a companion and yet feel so isolated. It says when we feel lonely, I feel like I'm not important to anyone. Damn.
You know,
I feel like nobody needs me.
You know what the worst thing is, though? Being 80 years old and still be by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I have me with me, then I'm not alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone else to entertain me. I don't need any device. I can find entertainment. I can do things. I need to find out If I say I'm lonely, that means I haven't figured out what I can do on my own. Like, what is my passion? What brings me joy? What uplifts me? What charges me? Meditation, something. I want to be alone when I'm meditating. So finding new things to do. I think changing, doing something different will changes all the things. I'm like, why don't I do something different? If I'm doing the same thing and it gets the same results, why don't I try to, when I continue to do the same thing, that's insanity. And when I don't branch out and do different things, it may not work out, but at least I tried. Go for a walk in the park, go do something, go out, find a group of people, find your tribe.
There's a difference between solitude and loneliness, though,
Yeah,
isn't there?
it is.
Solitude can be used to fill us up to do things that when we're not with other people, I can sit and relax. I can sit and feel. I can sit and just be me, be calm, explore things that I might want to do, right? Research, interact with different kinds of media. Those things can be good in solitude. We grow in solitude. But that isolation, that loneliness is a different monster, isn't it? It says, I feel like I really don't exist. I feel alone within myself. It feels safer to be alone than I can't get rejected. Ooh, no, it's not. All those things. I would rather be alone than be rejected.
No.
That rejection's a big fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is. That's a big abandonment and rejection.
What's the record? What's it can happen if you get rejected? It's not that I can die over it. We all been rejected by something. It's a child. We've already learned how that is not the end of the world. If this person rejects me, every door closed. I said everything that God wouldn't have allowed it if He could bring good out of it. And that rejection is God's protection. Maybe God was supposed to do that. Maybe that's supposed to be going somewhere else. Sometimes God, my higher power, redirects me by my rejection. I may see it as a bad thing, but if I look back, I'm glad, grateful I was rejected by that. Sometimes it takes like perspective to get like, oh yeah. Sometimes I need time to process what I've gone through. I go through a whole bunch the whole week and I haven't had time to process everything I've been through. Sometimes I have to sit back and take time to plan my next move. I process what I've been through and then plan what I'm going to do next. I don't take time to process. And like I always say, therapy is for me, that's the way to just figure out who I am and what peace feels like, where I feel like when I am good, how it feels when there's no chaos going around. And that should be good because I'm not used to that. I'm like, there's nothing stimulating me. But sometimes I don't know to be stimulated.
That's it. Sometimes I will create shit.
Oh God, I go online and watch the real.
I will invent drama. Right? I was addicted to drama. I don't know, trauma, all that shit. Anything that would tear me up. What's going on with you? Oh, let's go whoop that ass. So hey, Allison is in the house today. Good morning, everyone, she says. Yay. Good morning, Allison.
I think people are so invested in other people's lives. If you're worried, if you're actually following your dreams, you don't have time to worry about what other people are doing, other than taking it as a lesson. Like we take so much time worried about what other people are doing, that has no beneficial to me. I have no control over what they're doing. Me making a comment on other people's actions and reactions, that's a distraction. I could be doing something to fulfill my dreams.
So loneliness is yes, Gina, you had something?
Yeah, I'm just sitting back and thinking about it. I still today think about being lonely. Don't nobody call me.
Yeah.
I always gotta reach out. Why don't nobody call me? Don't try that. You need to call somebody for your recovery. Don't sit back and talk about the poor because ain't nobody giving you a phone call. And they don't reach out, you reach back. You like my sponsor, she ain't got nothing she want. Back in the day, we helping each other in this sponsorship.
That's it. When we're lonely, it's our responsibility.
Yeah,
it is. That's it. Don't stay in the bed and stay home. That breeds that loneliness, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it just engulfs us. It engulfs us. Allison says, I can relate to so much this loneliness, rejection alone most of my life. I am an extrovert and I've been isolated for different reasons throughout my life. We do go through those seasons, don't we? Those seasons of isolation and loneliness. And it is beneficial when I can take action to do something to relieve that hole.
Yeah.
When it's like a hole in me, I need people. I need my people about me, right? I need my tribe. I need my entourage, whatever you want to call it. And when I've got that, the energy I get is good. When I'm by myself, when I'm isolated, when I'm lonely, I only have my own energy to deal with, and it's not enough. I don't have what I need. Go ahead,
I mean,
Gina.
you couldn't be feeling some kind of way. Because, for instance, my mother died, and I be feeling bad when it's coming time. March is getting close to her birthday, and I'm feeling some kind of way.
Yeah.
So it could be anything, and trauma can set in.
Yeah.
And you can go think about the poor me and the loneliness.
Yeah.
Because of that time of the month, it's coming around. I didn't realize that I was feeling that way, but I am.
Yeah.
Feeling lonely, and messing on my laws and stuff,
Wow. Yeah.
But I thought, I have to do something different. I gotta go make a meeting, go to class, go to college, go to church.
Something.
Do something spiritual, get out of myself, come here for my education,
When we lose certain people, it can get very lonely, can it?
Yeah.
People that were important to our spirit. And that can be really difficult. The grief process is really difficult, and there's a lot of loneliness in it, I think. Let me see what it says. Things.
I don't think a lot of people have many things they know what they can do in solitude. A lot of people have a lot of things that they've been introduced to that are beneficial to them that is best in solitude, like things that you probably wouldn't think, like drawing and color. It may seem so adolescent, so immature, but it really just calms your mind and it kind of focuses you. You have to focus. You have to be focused on one thing. At least it gives you that skill to be able to focus on one thing, and completing it actually makes you feel like accomplished. Like I did that. I'm like, I'm 40 years old. I did a puzzle. I'm like, it's like a 40-something. It was like a big puzzle. But I was determined. I said, I'm going to figure something like that. One piece was like, good God. But it made me feel like it made me focus on that. I'm going to complete this project. I don't care how small. I don't care if anybody sees it. It is like, that's about me. That one piece. If I'd have like, oh, forget about it. No, I have to figure out where that fits in my life. It fits right there.
We flip that loneliness. We can do those things that help us and help us flip that feeling.
Yeah, now I do that now. Now it's even tapping. It's something that only
when we practice, it gets easier. When we practice loneliness, it gets easier too, doesn't it? Hello. Allison says, yes, Porter, I also need stimulation, the help with depression, pump up creativity, and of course, getting outside. Absolutely. Getting outside of ourselves, like Gina said. Let me do something that allows me to feel better about myself. Thank you, Gina. Do something that helps me feel a different way, right? It says we are connected to the world. Tips on to empower us when we're feeling lonely. We are connected to the world. Right now, we are sharing the experience of loneliness with people all around the world. We're on Facebook Live. We're all over the world. Remember that loneliness is a universal experience, a part of being human. We are not alone today. There are so many other people that experience loneliness that I want to be able to connect with so I can help their loneliness too.
Ideas of how to overcome this, what to do next time I feel lonely. Somebody be like, oh, this is what I did when I felt lonely. Some people have suggestions, and you get information from people. Maybe there's places online you can find. It's called Meetup. You can go online and find a meetup anytime, and they'll find us meetups all around Charlotte.
Yep.
Anything, food, any kind of interest you have, you can start your own meetup. Like every day, Tuesday, on the meetup, talk about this thing.
That is a great connection. If you're not familiar with it, thank you, Porter. Charlotte Meetup. Touched you. Doc, you're it. Run. Charlotte Meetup is a great resource. It is a website that can take you to any kind of group that you can think of. If you like underwater bowling, they probably got a group.
I would get to
Anything.
Hold on, underwater bowling.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't, hey, Judge, you weren't there. You don't know what it was. It was fun.
Hey, Tiffany's in the house. Good morning. 1063, keeping our your power, loneliness. Thank you. Good to see you, Tiffany. Let's see. What else? You're in control. Got to remember that when we're in that space of loneliness, we can use the power within ourselves to make positive changes in our life. We can do this by relaxing, reflecting on what, or doing a new hobby. We believe in you. We can take an action. We can, can't we?
Yes,
A new, like you were saying, a new hobby, a new thing. What can I get out of this feeling of not being with someone that can benefit me? I remember early in recovery, I never lived alone very long. I was always, you go from your parents' home. I went to the Army. And then for a little while there, I lived alone. And I had a hard time with that. I had a real hard time with that. Good morning, Darlene. And some of us do like living alone, not me. I need that interaction all the time. All the time. And some of us like that my space. See, I like less party.
I do. Party at my house.
Party at my house. But we are in control. We do have the power to use that time to do something different. To reach out. Thank you. You can embrace creativity. God, Porter, you just taught the class. Try to represent your experience through art, creativity, and share it with others. Own our experience. Take its power away. Share it with the world. Share it with the world like we're doing today. Your gifts are important, right? We're experts. Your story saves lives.
You'll see me on Steve Wilco in 2 years.
There you go.
I'm going to Chicago.
Are you going to fight? Don't fight.
No, I'm going to tell my story
Mm-hmm.
on the Steve Wilco show.
There you go. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
It is very powerful when we tell our story, because remember, it says we're not alone, and we can help other people understand that they are not alone either. They are not alone either. And that's a beautiful thing. Where'd I go? Here we go. You're cared for. Remember that. We care about us. We care about each other, don't we?
We're loved.
We're loved. Yes. As do support services, friends, family, or the family we create. They are already out there. Reach out and let them in. That's that. Gina was talking. You got to reach out. I can't expect people to come to me if I haven't interacted with them a long time. I had an incident, and it was back in 1994, a million years ago. God, that was a long time ago. I know, right?
I was in high school.
Anyway, 1994. I was born in 94. Shut up. So, 1994, I got hurt on the job, and so that took away my work friends. I couldn't talk to them, and my other friends would call. How can I help? But I wouldn't take their calls because I was depressed, right? So I wouldn't call back and everything, and eventually people quit calling. That's just it. If I don't answer, if I don't do my part of interacting with other people, I'm not going to get away from that loneliness. So I purposefully built a strong support network. And I've heard other people's stories, and that has fed my spirit and helped my loneliness.
In building your tribe and your team that you that your tribe and team kind of changes as you change. You have to know so you can know exactly who to go to when you need something. It's not always the need something. Like maybe say you have a person you need to talk to, find this person. Everybody in my phone has a purpose. It's just nobody just on my phone for any just no reason. So just want to have like 20 people on my phone, but I have someone I can go to for almost everything, and I always kind of to you to try to keep up with almost all of them. Even just say hello, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. So it's not like, hey, how are you doing? I ain't talked to you in 6 months. I just send a text like, how are you doing today? And try to keep an ongoing conversation and real dialogue. So when I do reach out to them, it's not like, hey, Porter. So I just have a big old network of people that I can reach out to my candidates, all the places I go to. I find numbers and people that I can reach out to. So I have a big wide network. So I never feel lonely. I can always. And sometimes I need that solitude because sometimes I'm around people and it's a distraction because
Yeah.
it takes me away from doing things that I need to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
I
we,
want to clean my room and hang out. No, I need to be responsible to do things that I need to do.
I don't want to be
Self-care.
responsible. Self-care is important. Self-care is
Self-care, go
important.
to the bar.
And part of self-care, if I like solitude, I like living alone, I'm good. Then that's cool. That's solitude, not loneliness. It's a choice, isn't it? It's a choice to be in solitude so that I can take that time to be more connected to myself, to think, to pray, to dwell on these things that worry us or concern us or make us happy, right? It says we deserve quality relationships. Make building quality relationships a priority over quantity of relationships. That bonds you have with people can help combat loneliness. Take time to strengthen your relationships. Tell yourself that you deserve this. I deserve friendship today, right? I know how to be a friend today. Somebody taught me, right? Because you were my friend. I always say you were my friend if I had drugs, alcohol, a car, or money. And I was your friend if you had drugs, alcohol, a car, or money. That's as deep as it went.
What's your name?
I don't know. I don't need to know your name. My car, my rules. Get out.
You can walk if you like.
But I deserve good people, don't I? I deserve good people.
You know the real me.
All those that knows the real me.
These masks.
Yeah. Somebody that I don't have to wear a mask with, somebody that I can be in relationship with, not necessarily intimate, well, not necessarily sexual, but still intimate, right? That connection can be so strong. And I do have people that meet certain needs in my support network. Thank you. I was busy with my hands.
Silent.
I've got a nurse in my crew. So if I'm feeling sick or I'm pretty much a hypochondriac, so I'm always calling her. What's going on? I've got a mechanic. I've got a contractor. I've got people that will come pick me up if I get a flat tire. I got a psychiatrist that will help me with my mental health, as does my therapist. But everybody's got a job, don't they? I'm not going to call my psychiatrist if I get a flat tire. No, they're not going to help me, right? But I'm not going to call my friend Renee if I need a medication change. Although she could hook you up back in the old days, right? Sure. What do you need? Allison says, love you, Gina and Porter, Sharon, off to the doctor appointment. Bye-bye. Thank you, Allison, for stopping by.
And I think that's why, like all these school shootings that happen because people aren't realizing that it's more about the genuine people that actually know you. You can be around a whole bunch of people, but until you find the people that actually see you and you can be vulnerable with and actually have a connection with, like being connected to everyone is draining. You don't have to be everyone's friend because it's not natural nor normal. Find the people that you gravitate to that you can actually have a bond with. Like I come here, you people know me, and you have a connection with me. I mean, the people outside, have to differentiate friendship from just like acquaintance. It's not the same for me.
No.
Like some people aren't my friend, and it's not nothing wrong against you. That some people have a different level of friendship, of vulnerability that I will allow you to get to because you have a level of trust with me.
If I don't know you, if you're an acquaintance to me, you're right. It's not safe for me to be vulnerable in that point. I need to be vulnerable with those people I know that know me well, and that care enough about me not to hurt me. Because sometimes when we get vulnerable to the wrong people, they can use it against us, right? And I don't want that today. I don't want things to be used against me. I want to be able to surround myself with people. It says, we can express our emotions in a healthy way. Practice sitting with our emotions, being present with our emotions, reflecting and accepting our emotions. Connect to us. Journal, doodle, voice memo, and express yourself. Express yourself in the time alone. How am I going to do that? That creativity.
Because then we don't have any passion anymore. What are you passionate about? Because you can always go back to that. Like something I'm a passion project. I never put it down. Like I always have, if I have a free time, I like, I can continue to work on that project. And I always have something that I can go back to. It hasn't been complete yet, but it's still something that I do for me. It's just not for anybody else. It's for me. It's something I've been working on for about 2 years. But every time I get a free moment, I do a little bit of it.
That passion I've got to have, because that overrides loneliness.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
it
it?
gives me purpose.
Purpose. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing that can bring us out of self-pity, like Gina was saying. That itty bitty shitty committee gets started in me. Let's see. We're unique. Not following the crowd doesn't make us alone. It makes us unique. We love you, who you are. There is nothing to be ashamed of. Yes, ma'am.
Following the crowd has got me in big trouble.
Yep.
Because I was about to graduate 2 weeks before graduation. I dropped out because I want to smoke pot.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks before my graduation. I was 17. Who does that?
Were you with the wrong crowd? Yeah. How did they influence you?
Because I wanted to get high. I never been high before.
Yeah.
I want to see what marijuana does.
They were doing it and you were curious.
I was like, let me try.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I'm with people, not wrong people, just people that aren't there at the right time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're just, they can be in my life. They're good people. It's just the wrong time to have them there. They're influencing me in something that I don't want to do anymore. They're influencing me into things that don't benefit me. I want to be around those people that can help me. I want to be around those people that feed me. Right.
I literally just had this conversation with my uncle. So this is the thing. My uncle house is like my other positive vibe ministry outside of the relax here. And so I'll go over there, we chill. But the thing about that is he's really positive and everything, but he drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink. So, but the only time I noticed that I would drink is when I would go to visit him. And it's just real friendly. It's like
Yeah.
it's like we sitting there, everybody doing sitting around. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, I really don't want a beer.
Yeah.
I really don't want to drink, but I don't want to feel left out. Because
Yeah. I don't want to feel left. Ooh.
So he had that same instance last night. He mentioned it to me. He was like, well, I'm cutting down on drinking. I was like, yes. So,
Yeah, I'm cutting down on drinking.
I'm cutting down. But the thing about that is, I go to Rico's house and I always drink. And I'm like, well, you might want to stop going to Rico's house.
That's it.
Man, that's my man.
That's it.
My best friend. But until you're strong enough to be in the atmosphere, and there was a time, that's recently, I was like, I would be in a bar. And it was weird because it was just the most gathering. I get up, I worked at a vape shop and we get up at 12:30. So at 12:30, there's really nothing else to do. And I didn't go out the way. I didn't want to get a hotel room because I had to check back out at 11. So I have to make sure I have that during the day. And so it was like, I would go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So the bar would be up at like 2, 3 o'clock. And then like, by that next time I'll be able to get on the bus because the buses will stop running at that time.
You know what I liked what you said? Oh, it hit it so hard. I don't want to be left out.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want to be left out.
That's one of the biggest fear, I think, though, to be in an atmosphere of people that are doing things that you feel like for some reason draws you and you're feeling like you're it's like a necessity at that moment.
Yeah.
Or something.
I want to be a part of. I want that companionship. I want that camaraderie. So I'm going to do what you do, whether that's talk politics or drink or run around and do things that cause havoc for other people, things that are not beneficial for myself or others. You know, that's the thing. I want to make sure that I'm being influenced in a positive way because I'm easily influenced, especially when I'm down. I'm so eager to not be left out, to not be rejected, that I will do the things that I may not want to do because they are what the crowd's doing.
They're available to you right now. I wouldn't do this if it was around. If you didn't offer me beer, I wouldn't have done it. But
I was told if you be around the wrong crowd, you'd be so eager. You're gonna get wrong. You're gonna get a hold of the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hurt you.
You're exactly right.
But I like what you used to do, Sharon. You used to kind of like take someone with you in a place that you're not familiar with, so at least you have someone to anchor you.
Yeah.
Like, no, we already said we're gonna leave at 3. Could kind of hold you accountable. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have to have that person that you trust, or people on the phone. Like, girl, like I told you, I mean, they give that escape route. Like, I know I'm gonna be here for 30 minutes, so I know I have a time frame that I'm gonna be here. So I don't have to be respectful to you.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't mind coming hang out with you for a moment, but I do have some other things to do. It may not even be real. But it gives me a way to say, all right, guys, well, you go and have fun. So I don't like to have to feel like I'm rejecting y'all. I have to explain myself. I don't have to. I've already explained like this is I'll continue with you for a moment, but I do have other things I need to do. So when I do, I'll just let you know and I'll just step out. Something my family drinks and smokes. I don't do that now.
Yeah.
I did it in the past, but I'll be on the phone. Ain't nobody on the phone. Just anything, just anything. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, guys, I gotta go. But I got my phone. I ain't been trying to have my phone even on for years. But I have that. But I have to do to get out of that moment. I'm like, I know I don't have the bandwidth to go against all y'all. Like, why you guys?
That's it. That's it.
That moment, that small, that you have to find a diversion somewhere, sometime.
Absolutely. I take. Hold up. I take backup when I go somewhere that I'm not comfortable. And sometimes that's certain friends or family members or people in power that have control over us, POs and court and all those things, right? So let me say this one: we're allowed to open up. Opening up about how we feel is not a weakness; it is courageous. Try sharing how you feel with someone you trust. Getting honest and vulnerable can help create connection, and I want that, don't I? I want that connection.
The other person might be going through exactly what
you're right.
And then, you have that connection and you can feel comfortable talking about that. Because sometimes you can't talk to other people about things that you're vulnerable about.
Yeah.
You just don't want to hear it.
Yeah. And when I know your story is similar to mine, I can say me too.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful. It is. And they may need us. Yeah. I may be in my worst space. If I can get out of myself for a second and share what I'm going through or share what I've learned from it, that can help. That can help other people because it never fails. If I'm in that pity pot space, which is, I need to feel these things, and it's okay to feel alone. But when I am vulnerable with somebody that doesn't understand me or that doesn't understand this particular thing, I know people that understand my drinking, but they don't understand my mental health, right? So I got to find those people that everybody's got a job. Everybody's got a job. Who understands me? Who can I be vulnerable with, right? So that is, we're allowed to open up. We're allowed to trust people. We just got to find the right people. We just got to find the people that can help us in that way. And some people, everybody's gifted in something. We just got to find that person that's gifted in listening and understanding what we're going through.
And we don't interact a lot much anymore. So you can be in a room full of people, but if everybody has their phone in their hand, sometimes you just feel alone because everyone is in their own world and nobody's really communicating at all. We have all these different ways to communicate, and yet we don't communicate at all. Like, listen, sometimes you need this real first face-to-face communication in person. You can't get anything away from this real life interaction. Like, you can be vulnerable here. When you see people, I can't be vulnerable on the phone through text message. No, I need real life communication and dialogue. That's how I build a real lasting relationship, and I get to know you. You say hello every now and again. I mean, that's a kind of relationship, but when I get to know what you're going through and that active listening, I can fall back up like, how was that doctor appointment last week? That tells you you're listening. Now you can trust me. Now I'm like, you really care about me? Yes, I was listening to you. That's how you can know that people really there for you when they actually were hearing what you're saying. You can follow back with the question like, no, how are you doing? No.
That can make such a difference when I'm feeling bad and lonely.
Thank you. Listening.
You're hearing me.
Okay.
Can you see me? What a powerful thing. Because a lot of us have been invisible throughout our lives, right? Just not seen. This kind of goes along with that. We can create space between our feelings and social media. Try to become active, not passive, when using social media. What feelings arise? You may be making judgments about someone else's life or your own. Could you take a break from social media? Unfollowing or muting accounts that bring up difficult feelings and following accounts that make us feel empowered can help with feelings of loneliness. Judgments about someone. Everybody's so damn happy on Facebook. And ain't nobody got any problems. We're all kumbaya and going through life. Let me give you my Christmas letter. I got some shit going on in my life. Right? And we don't necessarily share that because the World Wide Web does not need to know that I'm depressed. I need people that love me to know that and help me. The World Wide Web doesn't need to know that I want to drink. That may help me with some people, but I know who to call today. I don't have to call the world because the world can be dangerous. To cut off that media for a while can be helpful because I get all caught up in it. And I begin to judge my insides by other people's outsides. Man, you look like you got what you going on, man. You're ready.
It ain't real.
It isn't real. We all have some kind of issue that's going on in our lives. It could be big, it could be little, it could be medium size, but there is always something that we need to learn from.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think we should learn from this coffee. This is great coffee today. Who made this coffee?
I think it was Kim Good AA coffee. That's what, not tea.
I know.
Not tea.
Pack a punch to it.
You can find peace in a busy world. Hold up. If you are feeling disconnected to yourself, try to get into nature. Whether it's noticing a house plant, finding a little park, or getting to the forest. Getting into nature can help us feel at peace with ourselves. Right? It can help me feel that
I'm part of one more. It's not just me. I'm a small part of this whole thing going on. Like they even James, like if you look at a butterfly, like it has no idea that it's an evolution from a caterpillar to, and it's not comparing himself to any other butterfly. It just knows that we are. When I see that butterfly, it's hard to see them and spot them. It doesn't know that it's not comparing itself. They all look alike, but they're all different. Like when we think about times, like if you look at the earth right now and saw how small we are, and you think that people really care about your problems, no, they're like that big on this, like, no, they're not. And if you put things in perspective, like even over time, like it's not been that long since like 40, 60 years ago that my mother was like how we've come. We've not come very far, but how we all sit in the room together. This is monumental. Us talking about mental health. 10 years, 15 years ago, this would not have happened. So be grateful for the times and things that we do have. We may not have everything we want, but being able to have a conversation about what you're going through and talk about depression and mental health and not be like the stigma behind it now. It's not now.
No.
And that is big.
It is big.
All these things are happening at the same time. The mental health thing has been a conversation and all this strife going on in the world. So now that we can utilize these resources, now that it's not a stigma, now even celebrities come out to my depression, bipolarism. Like you never heard that 20 years ago.
No.
They would never been able to admit that
because it was dangerous. The same with us when back. It wasn't cool. Now it's cool. I'm an alcoholic. That's cool. It didn't used to be, right? So,
I don't like how on TV they do like celebrity rehab. If you're getting money to get well, chances are it's not going to last. And if you have alcohol on a TV show, for me, I'm not judging, but that is not a true depiction of what rehab is or healing is. If you're on TV and somebody's filming you and you have other people judging your process, that's something that's done. That is something that's done in a private place where you can be vulnerable.
That's it.
Everything is not for human consumption. It's not.
The what does that say? Deserve to treat yourself. I saw a favorite candy bar. Kind of got lost. We deserve to treat ourselves, show kindness to ourselves with a little gift. Whether that's buying your favorite chocolate bar, putting time aside to play a video game, or dancing to your favorite song, you can be your own friend. You can be kind to yourself. That's part of self-care, isn't it? Being able to understand that I'm worthy, that I am part of something, that I am connected, that I can do things, even little things that can help me, right? Last thing, we are grateful for us, right? We've taken a moment to be grateful for ourselves. So why don't we take a moment to be grateful for the small wins in our lives, the little God shots? It could be for getting out of bed today. It could be for watching a bird patter across the roof. It could be a great new show you found, trying to have the glass half full rather than half empty. Half full rather than half empty. Yes, sir. We want to be able to connect. Remember, it is connection that lessens loneliness. And when I connect with other people, it allows me to be vulnerable, to be able to do things that lessen my loneliness. All right, I want to thank the crew in here. I want to thank the crew out there, Tiffany, Allison. Tiffany, good to see you. Tiffany, Allison, Darlene, and did I say Allison? I did say Allison. Thank you all for being out there. Thank you all for being part of this class. Share it and have a good week.